It's Wellness Nerd Out time! How you guys doing today? Happy Wellness Nerd Out time. And today what I want to talk about is the importance of free weights. All right, using free weights instead of machines, at least for the majority of your workouts. Now, before we get started, I want to say happy birthday, Joe Bush. Happy birthday, brother. This was for you. We'll talk about that fine fellow more at the end here. So, with free weights, right? Well, what is the major difference? Let's take an incline bench press, for example. And before I even get into it, actually, it's functional fitness, right? You have to balance the weight, right, as opposed to a machine. So you're working in more planes, right? If you have a dumbbell, right, you have to prevent external rotation. Say if you're doing a shoulder press, right, you have to prevent internal rotation. You have to prevent it from coming out or in, right? And if you were just on a machine, it's just one plane of motion, and it's just when that muscle gets tired, when those muscles get tired, now your delts are screaming, you can't do any more reps because you can't adjust the plane in which you are moving and the exact muscles that you're using to get the exercise done, right? So, and like we say, it's a lot more functional too. So let's take this example of an incline bench press, right, which we were going to talk about. So if you're doing an incline press, right, say I had my back against the bench, right? Well, if I was on a chest press machine, I would just be pressing, right? And again, I'm stuck in that plane. Now you're doing an incline bench press. Again, you have to stop your elbow from cocking, right? You have to do all these things. And so is it a little, I shouldn't even say dangerous, but are you at an increased risk for injury if you're not an avid lifter? Well, if you go light enough, obviously your risk is greatly reduced, right? But if you were going a little too heavy, you are at a higher risk for injury, right, using free weights. And that's one downside if you're a beginner. But if you're an avid lifter, live by the free weights. And if you're a beginner, do free weight exercises that have a little bit that are a little bit lighter in the beginning of the exercise, right? Or whatever weight is challenging for you, depending on your goals. Obviously the rep count will be different. But start with that. Squat day, leg day, start with squats with the bar, right? Or with the dumbbell, standing up and squatting with the dumbbell. And then at the end, you do the machines, right? And then at the end, you can do those slow eccentric movements on the machines and those isometric holds, right? And you can go for things like hypertrophy, right? But activate those type 2 fibers early in the workout. Do the more functional exercises that are really going to challenge you and help you to get a lot more out of your workouts by using free weights, you guys. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today. It's huge. Now, machines aren't all that bad. I mean, there are a lot of, look at like a Black Iron gym, a lot of those machines are great where you put the plates on them, but still you're loading them up with free weights. So generally that bodes well for effectiveness in what a machine has to offer if it's something that you load with free weights as opposed to just using the cables, right? And so you're not going to start your chest workout with chest flies with the cables. You could if you're just doing all flies that day, but even then, maybe do incline flies with dumbbells first, something more challenging, because you're not going to be able to do those at the end, all right? And if you want altogether, just use free weights for the entire workout and even just skip all the machines. That's what I do for the most part. But that's what we got for you guys today. So happy birthday, Joe Bush, we got to say before we get out of here. Happy birthday, man. I hope you have the best day, dude. You are such a kind soul. You really are. And I want you to know that I'm absolutely thinking of you today. When I think of Joe Bush, I think of a guy that loved to get dirty on the rugby field, loved to bang some heads, but also a very nice person, a very genuine person. And, you've always supported me in anything that, I've done. You always, had some positive things to say, and you've had a positive impact on my life, and I hope I've had a positive impact on yours, honestly. And I hope this has a positive impact on your day today. So happy birthday, my brother. This one's absolutely for you. Forever your day in the book of Wend Wellness. Enjoy it, all right? So what I want to say before we go, I meant to say this. In terms of the machines where you load up with plates and stuff, the one exception to this machine rule, at least in part, is back day. Because like cable rows are a phenomenal back exercise, right? Hit the rhomboids, the middle traps, depending on your grip, or the rear delts and whatnot, and lats. But that still comes with the fact that maybe we do weighted pull-ups first, or we do pull-ups themselves first, if not weighted, right? You do all the dumbbell exercises with, for back first, and then you can go to those cables. But that doesn't always hold true, especially for back. Because say you were to do like a single arm row, right, where you have your hand on the bench, you have your knee on it, like my knee would be like this, and you're doing that row, right? Boom, boom, like that. Well, that's a little bit easier of an exercise than, trying to pick up some good weight on that machine you loaded up with plates, where you have your chest against it and you do your rows, right? So which would you do first? Right, we would do the rows on the machine where we put the plates on, and then later we would do the easier stuff like that. So, it's not just about free weights first. That generally holds true. But Marco, what's up, brother? How you doing? Thanks for hopping on. I hope you're having a great day. But there are some exceptions, and there's one, for example. So you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'm excited to see you then. Go enjoy the Super Bowl. I don't know who you're rooting for, but I think it's going to be a good one. And happy Wend Wellness. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.